Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another video on ForgottenWeapons.com. I'm Ian McCollum, je m'appelle Ian McCollum, and we are back at the two-gun action challenge match. The match is Reborn, which is awesome, and it's actually Easter today when we're filming this. So, I am shooting today a semi-automatic build of a CETME-B. These are really scarce rifles to find. I was very excited to find this one as a parts kit. Note that this has the metal handguard and the metal bipod. It also is an old enough variant of the CETME that it still has a tangent rear sight instead of apertures. Now, I am doing this in French camo today because there is a really cool, really well documented incident where the French Marine Commandos intercepted like 200 of these rifles that were being smuggled into Algeria for the FLN. And they confiscated them, and they took a look at them and went, select fire 20-round mags. This seems perhaps a little nicer than our 10-round semi-auto MAS 4956s. And so the French Marine Commandos ended up using these rifles for like 6 or 7 years, for quite a long time. So I figured I'd throw on the French camo, come out here to the match with the CETME-B. Now it is a two-gun match, so to go along with it for a pistol, I have a period French piece. We have a MAC-50. So we'll see how this one does. I was planning to do a different pistol, didn't have a chance to actually zero this, contrary to all of my advice. That said, it is a pistol that you can't actually adjust the sights on, so I kind of figured it'll be what it'll be. Anyway, we've got 4 stages today. Let's dive right in. Sorry for the interruption. Just want to say that today's video is brought to you by Headstamp Publishing, with an extensive catalog of books on all sorts of interesting and esoteric small arms, everything from World War II small arms to Imperial Japanese swords to the earliest of revolvers and Cold War battle rifles. There is something at Headstamp for every firearms enthusiast. Check it out. Links in the description text below. Here we go. And the stage requires me to keep a marshmallow in my mouth throughout the execution of the stage, with a bonus if it's still in my mouth and I can spit it out when we're done.
Now say chubby bunny. Alright, shooter, just gonna quick fire mode. Make ready, perfect. Range is hot, eyes and ears. Shooter, are you ready? Stand by.
So the rifle part of this stage was pretty basic and simple. There was the one Q silhouette there, and you had to hit it one time each from a variety of positions. You had to carry the bag with you during the stage, although there wasn't anything in it, so it was a little bit awkward, but not really a big deal. And of course, having a marshmallow in your mouth, because this was the commemorative Easter match. So marshmallows and Easter bunnies abounded throughout the thing. There was incidentally no penalty for knocking over the stick, which I didn't actually realize when I was doing it. But this shooting was super easy. I was actually surprised the whole time by how effective I was able to be with those open notch sights on the CETME-B. Now, the pistol portion of the stage was quite a lot harder, although I kind of make it look easy at the very beginning here, other than forgetting to rack around into the pistol. It's a mini Mozambique target where the head is a falling plate, and when you hit the very center of the chest, it resets the head plate. What we had to do here was flip the head up and down twice. So you had to make 4 total hits on the special target zone of this target, and you only had 1 shot per position. So every time you fired, whether you hit or miss, you had to move to the next position, and it was 4 positions, left and right of the center and above the bottom and the top sticks. So I got the first 2 really fast, and then it just became kind of a slog here trying to hit that center plate. There we go, finally got it. And then 1 more hit needed here to take down the head. The rifle section was a little faster than I'd have liked. The pistol section was quite challenging, but happy that I was able to complete it there.
Unloaded. Whew.
Stage 2 was an all-pistol stage. This one had me a little concerned about whether I would be able to make these hits with a pistol I really hadn't checked 0 on. So the idea was you draw a card, and you have to engage the plates of that color. So first you've got the 2 stars, then regardless of color, you have to hit that big plate once from each of the positions, but you have to hold the gun sideways. So interesting little detail there. And then knock down the appropriate colored popper. When I got back here, my second color was blue. The blue plate had already fallen off the first spinner when I hit the yellow one the first time, so I kind of got a little bit of a bonus there. And then zip through these. It's funny, you actually had to pay some attention. It seems like a big target, close range, you can just wing off a shot at it. But no, especially holding the gun sideways, I think messes up a lot of people's sort of natural feel accuracy, pointability. But overall, as you can see there, I was hitting these plates very quickly and easily. Ironically, the hardest thing for me here was shooting the biggest plate. And one last popper.
Woo! That went really well. Okay, we're back to a rifle and pistol stage, and this was another one that required drawing colors. So for the pistol section, you had to hit the paper target of the appropriate color. Headshots didn't count. You had to hit it under the table, over the barrel, and then under the barricade. Then abandon your pistol, run over to the next bay where your rifle is pre-staged, and there are a set of half-size steel silhouette targets, and those are set out at about 125 yards. So I was fairly concerned here as well about being able to get those. Actually, I'm sorry. Some of them are full-size, some of them are half-size. I was a little concerned about being able to hit those with the rifle. It's open sights. It's a very old rifle. It's a well-worn parts kit. I should say, by the way, this rifle was built up for me by Parabellum Combat Systems. They did a fantastic job building a parts kit into a beautiful semi-auto rifle. Rebuilt some of the working components to improve them a little bit, improve the recoil spring, made sure that the gun was up to snuff for actual shooting. And man, they did a great job. I had no trouble making those hits, frankly, throughout the entire match. So this is also the longest stage of the match because you have to do this procedure 3 times. So I came back here, drew a second card, engaged those paper targets once more. Did note here, I have 9 rounds available in the MAC-50 magazine. I have to make 3 pistol hits each time, so I have exactly 1 magazine worth of cartridges, and you only get 1 shot on the paper targets from each position. So 1 hit there. You had to do make hits over the top of the vehicle, from behind the vehicle, and then prone behind the vehicle. So, there you go. 1 for 1 on those steel targets, iron open sights. Again, I was extremely happy with how the rifle performed. It's fun to shoot. It wasn't nearly as rough shooting as I expected. It was relatively soft. You'll know it's a 308 when you're shooting it, but wasn't an issue at all. There's my last 3 rounds of pistol. Back over to the rifle. This is a long enough stage that I was legitimately concerned about parring out, and it came close. The par time on this stage was 3 minutes, 180 seconds, and we're starting to creep up on that here. So one last set of rifle engagements, and once again, I make at least the first 2 1 for 1, and then I required a second follow-up shot to get that last hit. There we are. I had a 30-second penalty because I did make one of the misses on the pistol side. Or a couple of misses on the pistol side, sorry, that cost me some penalty time. All right, the last stage, this is a short one. We start with a pistol engagement up very close, just blasting from the table and then hit a stop plate. Get that, and then it's off to the rifle. There are a series of targets that you have to engage with a couple hits each, and then you get 1 shot on a paper target up a little bit closer. So we're going to go ahead and engage these guys fairly quickly. Again, you can see the recoil. There's recoil. It's a 308, but it's not particularly bad. The rifle runs flawlessly, reliably, and zeroed well. And there's my 1 paper hit, and I am done with the match.
All right, time.
All right, so I had a couple little casualties on the rifle. I don't know if it showed up in the footage, probably did, but on the 3rd stage, the this little retainer here broke, and the handguards popped down a little bit, and there they go again. So I need to deal with getting that fixed. I think I also had one of the butt plate screws come off and disappear, because that's loose now. The CETME-Bs are old guns. This is a gun that had a lot of wear and tear on it before it got cut and turned into a semi-auto. So that said, it was a lot of fun to shoot. It's accurate, it's effective, it's comfortable. Parabellum put a new recoil spring in it, and it doesn't appear to have any issues with full power 7.62 NATO. Of course, this is the rifle that was originally developed to use 7.62 CETME, slightly less powerful cartridge, but it was considered capable of running NATO if it needed to. And I don't have any 7.62 CETME lying around, so NATO it was. My MAC-50 also performed extremely well for me. It was accurate, it was totally reliable. A lot of these are worn out guns. Like a lot of the ones we had in the US until just recently were heavily worn guns that came out of Vietnam. This is one of the ones that Navy Arms recently brought in direct from France, and those are in really good shape, and it gave me no issues at all, and it was actually a lot of fun to shoot. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. It's always a fun time at the two-gun match in some sort of costume with some older, interesting guns. Thanks for watching.